So that element that you saw there, it's going to be something that permeates all of our modes, really, again, focusing on that education, explaining why you're doing what you're doing in each particular mode. When you go through career, you'll see an option after fights to make a smart highlight reel. What that's going to do is basically just do an automatic creation of a highlight reel. I would recommend that you do not, in fact, say yes to that, because it's going to encode video in real time and you'll be hanging out for about 9 minutes. So just FYI, pick no, or not, or just hang out, have a coffee. Also, one of the things that you guys are going to get to experience today is career mode. Similar thing, in the career mode we have these Mike Goldberg intros, and one of the differences in this year's career mode is we got rid of all the CG cutscenes. So there's no more mocap Dana White shaking your hand. We've actually utilized our great relationship with the UFC. They've actually gone and edited a host of movies that basically at the same beats in your career. For example, first championship fight, you're going to see footage that the UFC's edited, interviews with current UFC champions or past UFC champions, telling you what was going through their head before they went into that championship fight. It's a really cool way of kind of immersing you in the brand. And since UFC, did us a great favor by editing all of these, it's consistent with their broadcast presentation. And it's a lot of really cool footage that you may have seen from countdown shows years ago, or some of it's exclusive footage that people have never seen. So I think it's a really kind of elegant way of immersing you in the UFC brand and experience with real life footage. So we'll jump into career, have Mike kind of explain a little bit about what you're going to experience.
UFC Undisputed 3's career mode. With less emphasis on stat management, this year's career mode focuses on training games and more fights to get you back into the action quicker. The training games include 7 drills and 7 sparring sessions. Drills focus mainly on raising your attributes, while sparring sessions concentrate on honing your skills. In UFC 3, you can also take your favorite fighter from the roster, build up his attributes and skills, and relive or rewrite his career as you see fit. And with the all-new Career Live Movies feature, you'll get the chance to go deep inside the UFC world and hear from some of today's biggest stars on the situations you yourself will encounter. Camps have been revamped this year, and you'll have the option of joining one of 6 real-world camps. Early on, you can try different camps, but ultimately choosing your camp alignment for the remainder of your career. When doing so, you'll become a member of that camp. You'll gain access to the camp's logo, and will also see the camp trainer appear in your corner. Another feature which allows you to raise your stats simply by competing in fights is the game plan feature. Pick a game plan, stick to it, and execute it during your fight to keep the effects of the game plan and enhance your fighter's abilities. Cred earned from your fights will need to be put to good use this year, as your training and camp sessions, as well as formulating game plans, will now cost you cred. Training program upgrades, which increase your attribute cap limit, and new sparring partners, which increase your skill cap limit, also cost cred. You'll need to perform well and spend your cred wisely as you make your way through 3 organizations: the World Fighting Alliance, Pride Fighting Championships, and the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Think you can become a champion in all 3? Let's find out.
All right, there'll be a quiz in 1 minute. Kidding, there's no quiz. So senior designer, that was a lot of information. Yeah, any specifics these guys should look for in their careers?
As Mike mentioned, when you get through their career, once you start playing through, one of the things that you're going to have to do is purchase a new sparring partner that'll allow you to increase your cap. So if you reach the ceiling on your skills with your cred, you can go into the shop and get a new sparring partner, so it'll allow you to maximize your fighter's potential and raise their skills. Again, the emphasis on career mode this year was less stat management and more time fighting. We felt the previous UFCs focused too much on the training themselves and less emphasis on the fight. So this year when you're playing through the career, you're going to get back into your fights a lot quicker. There's a lot of things to do in between fights with less time to do them. So you're really going to have to try and pick what it is you want to focus on in the limited amount of time that you have to prepare for your fight, because you're going to get back in your fights quicker. So, as Mike mentioned and as Nevin mentioned, the Career Live Movies feature is something that we're really proud of. It's really exciting because there's a lot of variance in there for all the situations that you encounter. Some of the stuff is never before seen interviews with fighters talking about the situations that you're going to be in. So it's really cool if you're a fan of the sport or don't know much about the sport. You get to see some of the fighters talk about what it's like, preparing for a championships fight or coming back from a loss, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new career here and show you just one of those videos, and then we're going to turn it loose to you guys and let you guys play.
Yeah, and also before he goes into that, I mean, one of the things that you want to talk about, like,
Sure.
like how your stats decay in certain areas.
Yeah, we actually also wanted to mention that too. We do have the ability to play through career mode with a roster fighter this year. That is something that's new to the franchise, something that the fans have been asking for, and something that we wanted to do as well. So we're really happy to get it in there. You can take any UFC fighter, any Pride fighter, and play through a career with that fighter. And it's really cool because during your career, you have the opportunity to go up and down in weight classes. So you can take John Jones, move him up to heavyweight, or drop him down. It's up to you. You can really play it the way you want to play it.
Or what I do is make Chuck Liddell for a super jiu-jitsu fighter.
Brock Lesnar with a flying head.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, as you saw, there's a lot of training games that's new this year. It's actually doing the dynamics that you're going to do in a real fight. So again, there's a lot of differences to this year's career, and also that educational aspect that I talked about earlier. There's going to be a lot of that even in the menu options, really hand-holding you through the menus so that you don't have to get out or go online and figure out what am I doing in this situation. So for example, if we jump into new career, you'll see career live movie here.
In the sport of mixed martial arts, the difference between a win or a loss can happen at any moment. A single punch, a single takedown, or even a single mistake is what separates the champions from the contenders. When it's all over, a fighter's legacy is what's left behind. Now it's your turn to rewrite the legacy of a UFC fighter. With their talent in your hands, let's find out if you'll lead them into obscurity or into octagon glory.